Boo, boo, boo. YouTube, what's up with y'all? It's your boy Seem Stacks, aka Seem on the Bean. Never before seen me, back at it again with another reaction video. Stop playing with me, real shit, before it get tragic. You know what I'm saying? Pull up with that yapper, let them have it. You feel me? Let's calm down. It's not a freestyle, but I heard the bitch get around. Might pass around town, bring it back around. Rose truck in the back. Bad bitch ass real fake. You know she let it clap. You feel me? But we back with another reaction. We got mom realizes cops found her missing teen daughter's body. From Crime Explorer, man. Y'all, this is a 46-minute video. We're going to be here for a minute. Make sure you got your food. You got something to drink. If you smoke, you already know what to do. If you drink, pull up too. And if you do any of that other stuff, get out of here. We don't support that. But yeah, we're about to get into the video. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. This joint already long as shit, so just bear with me. But let's get into it, man.
Body. We don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body.
This shit gonna be crazy, yo. I'm already knowing. Oh shit.
Have you talked to her dad this morning?
Yeah.
He hasn't heard from her either?
No.
Okay.
But I can't talk to him because he just scares me. Because he just says she's in a ditch dead.
Little sis is what you're referring to her as?
Yeah, she's called me big brother since like my 8th grade year.
When we started out today, I just wanted the truth from you, okay? And then the story changed. The story's changed again. The story's changed again. Okay? I need to get the whole truth.
Fucking headset about to die and shit.
March 9th, 2020. Officers pull up to a quiet home
green,
and are
man.
met by a mother
Let's get it.
who hasn't slept. Her daughter has been gone almost 24 hours. No calls, no texts, nothing.
Okay, so is it son or daughter?
Daughter.
Daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. What is daughter's name?
Brittany, you want to get a picture?
What is daughter's name?
Brittany.
Like, nigga, say what's your daughter
Most people
name?
knew her as Brittany, but her
Yeah,
full
Brittany.
name is Gabrielle Lynn Ulacki, and this wasn't the first time police had been asked about her. The night before, March 8th, just before 9 p.m., her father, Jim Ulacki, called the cops. He and Brittany had been at his band practice on Hillside Drive in Elko. While they were there, Brittany said she'd gotten a ride home and would beat him there. She left with a friend before him, but when Jim arrived home, the house was empty.
Damn.
She was supposed to be going home yesterday. She was in town with her dad.
Okay.
And she told him, I'm going to get a ride home with a friend. I'll beat you home. And he says, you better beat me because I'll be there in an hour. And she goes, we're going right home.
Talking about coming here?
Do you know her dad lives in South Fork? We're split up.
Okay.
That ride came from someone Brittany trusted, her childhood friend, Bryce Dickey. He picked her up from her dad's band practice, but rather than dropping her home, they spent the afternoon driving around. Later, Brittany asked him to drop her at Spring Creek High School. She said she was meeting a new friend. Bryce left her there around 4:30 p.m.
Her friend that had her, I talked to him. He dropped her off at the high school down here
Okay.
at 4 o'clock with some guy. And I go, what guy? And he goes, I don't know. She just said my new friend. Tall, white, cowboy-looking guy with a green truck.
Bryce watched as Brittany stepped out of his truck. She walked across the lot toward a green Ford F-150 parked in the staff area. Then, she was gone.
And now nobody can find her. None of her friends. Her phone's not on.
Okay.
Nothing. Not a friend. None of her friends or best friends. Nobody can find her.
Earlier that night, officers had asked Jim if he wanted to report Brittany as a runaway or a missing juvenile. He said no. Brittany always checked in with him. She always did. She won't run away.
And her dad was getting ready to leave, and she wanted to go with Bryce. And he said, but Brittany, I'm getting ready to leave. And she said, that's okay, I'll still beat you home, meaning she would beat him to South Fork because she stays out there with him. And he called me, panicking, and he's like, well, mad at first. And he goes, why isn't she answering her phone? And I was like, I don't know. I've been trying to call her because we just lost our dog too, okay?
Damn,
so I was
that's
trying to
bullshit
call her to
fucked
go
up.
look at the dog, and I couldn't get her. And then he called me, and he was like, where the hell's Brittany? I can't get her to answer the phone. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought she was with you. And he goes, no, she left to go with Bryce and was supposed to be right home.
So she was supposed to be staying in South Fork last night at Dad's house.
Yeah.
Jim was also worried about labels. Brittany already had a drug possession charge from 3 months earlier. He didn't want another mark following her.
Damn, Brittany was off that shit. Don't even look like she do drugs. Damn, Brittany. Shit. She was probably moving that shit, moving that coke.
Officers tried to explain that runaway and missing juvenile reports were handled the same way. Jim still refused to file. Phone records showed the last contact Brittany had with Alicia was on March 8th, around 1:30 p.m. The call lasted about 30 minutes. After that, Bryce picked her up, and the trail ended in a high school parking lot where someone was already waiting for her. Brittany's brother James was in contact with Bryce. They went to the same school.
Bryce told me that he dropped her off at the school at like around 4:30, and that she got into the truck with some guy, and it was like a green early 2000s F-150.
Around 5:30 that evening, Alicia tried calling Brittany. Every call went straight to voicemail. There was something that was bothering Alicia.
No idea. I have no idea what she's doing, what she's thinking. I know she thinks she's invincible, and she's not.
The year before, Brittany had dealt with a stalker, 19-year-old Chris Meza. He didn't handle rejection well. 2 days earlier, he had confronted her again. Brittany came home shaken and in tears.
Is it worth mentioning that we had a big problem with a low-life piece of shit last summer that tried to rape my daughter, and he's still running around in Elko? Do you need to know that?
So she had a stalker. He tried to grape her. And y'all, I'm assuming they didn't tell the cops any of this because she talking about, can y'all do something about it? Y'all knew about this, all this. Why didn't y'all tell the cops when she had a stalker? Why didn't y'all move, first of all? If she gets stalked and almost grape, you feel me? Like the fruit grape, chill, YouTube, chill. But, bro, why ain't y'all move or something, or really push down on that with the law? Like, y'all ain't even think of doing nothing like that. And bro right here, some way, somehow, he guilty. The way he talking about it, it don't seem like he really trying to help. And we gonna see how this joint. We gotta let it marinate a little bit. My fault, y'all.
Who is it?
His name is Chris Meza. And she came into my work 2 nights ago just crying because he came up to her and
Mezza? Why your daughter would get in a truck with this individual?
he wouldn't get in the truck with her, but I don't trust he's like 19, and he tried to hurt her last year, and then he won't leave her alone. He terrorizes her every time he sees her.
Was there a police report last year?
There was, and when it came time for the detective to have her come in and talk, she couldn't do it. She just fell to pieces and couldn't do it.
Okay.
There had never been a report, no restraining order, nothing official. Chris would just show up when he saw her. So Chris Meza was 18 when he was trying to date Brittany last year, when she was just 15. Official. Chris would just show up when he saw her. So Chris Meza was 18 when he was trying to date Brittany last year, when she was just 15. Maybe he thought she was into older guys because she did have an older boyfriend, Isaiah. Alicia then read the last messages Brittany's best friend, Cheyenne Fry, sent her. Chris had been 18 when he started pursuing Brittany. She was 15. He assumed she liked older guys. She had dated one before. His name was Isaiah. Then, Alicia began reading through messages Brittany's best friend, Cheyenne Fry, had sent her.
This is from her best friend, okay? Now, mind you, Isaiah works at Subway. She says, I am so sorry I didn't have Messenger and download it until this morning to see your message. I talked to her a lot yesterday, about 5 times. She was waiting for Bryce to come get her at Subway, where Isaiah works. I don't know what could have happened because she tells me everything, Alicia, I swear, good or bad. She would have told me if she was running away or if she was meeting someone.
So now we know she went to the Subway yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
She was at Subway waiting for Bryce, like, afterwards?
Yeah.
After the whole dropping?
I don't know. This is just what I got. This is just the message.
Was Brittany meeting Isaiah or someone new? Someone dangerous? The one person with the clearest view of that last afternoon was Bryce Edward Dickey. Later that day, at 2:52 p.m., the Elko County Sheriff's Office finally released a missing juvenile flyer for Brittany Ulacki. Her face spread across social media. By March 9th and 10th, the questions were getting louder. People wanted to know why there was no Amber Alert. Inside the sheriff's office, the focus shifted to one thing: finding anyone who might know where Brittany went. One name kept coming up: Bryce Dickey.
Hey, Bryce.
How's it going?
Good, man. I appreciate you meeting me here.
Yeah, no problem.
So, kind of run me through it so I can understand what's going on. So, I'm going to stand in the shade over here if you don't mind.
Officers met Bryce outside the main administrative building. It was the same spot he said he dropped Brittany off.
Alright, so Sunday, around 11,
Okay.
I started texting, got a few texts from Brittany, just asked if I wanted to hang out. I said sure, got ready and stuff. Told me she could meet me at Angel Park because she said her dad was doing band practice. And then picked her up at Angel Park, asked what she wanted to do. Said she had no idea, said, why don't we just go drive around in Spring Creek since we got more room over there. So we went back over the hill, just started chatting, talked about her finishing school, how school was going for me. Kept driving around, and then we were over in the Horse Palace section, and my dad called me asking if I could come back home. So I told her I needed to go. Asked her if she wanted me to just drop her back off at Angel Park, and she said that she wanted me to drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend. And the F-150 was over there, but I didn't know that was where she was going at that time.
Brittany told him she planned to call her dad later that night. She said he'd pick her up after she spent some time with this new friend. Before leaving, Bryce hugged her. Then he drove off. As he pulled away, he saw Brittany standing outside a truck with the man she came to meet.
So, you said what was the F-150?
Yeah, it was the Tritons, the ones that are really ugly looking, have the like side step in them.
Okay. Like that winter green, dark forest green?
Like a dark forest green.
Okay.
The truck stood out in his memory. A forest green Ford F-150 Triton, single cab.
It looked completely stock because it wasn't very tall at all. The windows didn't look tinted at all to me.
Were they rolled down or were they up?
Up.
Okay.
It looked decently dirty, but just like about as much as that truck is right there.
A typical truck that's
Yeah, typical Spring Creek truck.
at this time of year, okay?
Yeah,
So you say it was right over here and then you drove out that way.
yeah.
How do you see the stickers in the back window if it's parked over there and you're headed out that way?
No, because I came in, followed the Maverick way in because I only go in through the Maverick way because I don't like that turn off.
Okay.
So I came in on the base and then pulled in through here.
Okay. So you came in the Maverick way. And what time was that, you said?
I dropped her off at right around 4:30.
Okay.
That was the last time Bryce ever saw her. Cheyenne was the first to notice something was wrong. Brittany wasn't replying. That wasn't normal.
Yeah.
She messaged Bryce, asking where Brittany was.
She told me that she couldn't get a hold of Brittany or anything, and then I told her that I dropped her off, and then she asked me if I knew who it was. I didn't. Asked her if she knew, and she didn't.
This wasn't Bryce's first time talking to police about Brittany. The initial responding officer had called them the day she went missing, and just 2 days earlier, Bryce had another conversation with a sergeant that left an impression.
So why did I get information that you told one of the other sergeants that you spoke to the guy over here? Why did you tell him that?
I haven't told any deputies or anything that I would talk to a guy over there.
You didn't tell the sergeant that you confronted the guy?
No.
I'm sure about that.
I am 100% positive, sir.
Once a missing person report...
Ooh, that nigga lying. This nigga lying. Oh, shit. This shit about to get real, y'all. This nigga lying.
...was finally in place, officers pinged Brittany's phone. The last signal came back to Boyd Kennedy Road. Deputies searched the area. Nothing. They expanded to Boyd Reservoir. Still, nothing. While that search was ongoing, a sergeant radioed in. He was at the school campus. Bryce Dickey and another teen, Cody, had shown up, and they might be heading out toward Boyd Kennedy Road.
Me and my friend Cody and a few other my friends, we all went out searching that same night for her. We went around, came around the high school, went to behind Sage and saw running lights, so we went to go check it out. It ended up being another deputy. And then,
Cody?
Huh?
You're talking Cody?
Cody Miles, my friend.
Cody Miles?
Yeah.
One of the guys that's in your car?
Yeah, he's in my passenger seat.
Okay.
A deputy made contact with a red Dodge pickup. Inside were Bryce and Cody. During the conversation, Bryce mentioned Brittany used Snapchat constantly. The deputy asked if Brittany had a boyfriend. Both teens said they thought she was talking to a guy from New York.
The guy she's talked to for a while that I think lives over in New York or something like that. I don't know.
Why do you think that?
Because I swear she said New York, but I do not remember. Same thing as that's what we pretty much heard. Because she used to brag about him. She had like a promise ring or something from him.
About a year earlier, Brittany had been in a girl fight at a rodeo with two girls. That fight was caught on video. Brittany, dressed in white, can be seen taking both of them on at once. The fight video went viral. She was popular, but not everyone liked her. Rumors followed her. Drugs, underage drinking, the kind of talk that sticks in a small place like this.
Like, what do you mean on the upside? Doing drinking, beer, drugs?
Drugs. From what I was told, they were dealing drugs.
Hey, where did you guys go? I mean, you said you were with her for how long?
Dropped her off at 4:30, so that's 3.5 hours.
So I'm sure that you didn't drive around for 3.5 hours, because that's a waste of gas.
No, I drove around for 3.5 hours.
So when Bryce said he had driven around for 3.5 hours that day, it raised eyebrows. Burning gas, going nowhere. The deputy didn't buy it. That story didn't sit right. It wasn't just the driving. Officers had Snapchat photos of Brittany sitting in a car with two unknown guys. But Bryce had described her leaving with a tall white cowboy.
So, whose vehicle and whose dudes was she with on her Snapchat?
I don't know, I didn't look at her Snap. I literally was sitting at home watching TV when she texted me, and I normally don't scroll through stories.
Okay, well.
The picture later turned out to be an old photo. To back himself up, Bryce unlocked his phone. He scrolled through his messages with Brittany.
Now, where are you? You okay? Answer the phone. What time was that?
That was 6:14 and 6:20.
That actually shows yesterday.
No. So, it says it at the top. So there's Sunday, and then yesterday, same thing as I still sent streaks.
They had a 70-day Snapchat streak. Constant contact. They were close, like brother and sister. He called her his little sister. Then the officer noticed something else in his phone. A photo of Brittany with a girl no one recognized. Police had already spoken to several friends. None of them knew who she was.
Who's that?
It's one of her friends. She comes here sometimes, but I think she lives in Carson or something like that. I honestly don't know her name. I've only met her once.
The girl turned out to be Sequera Barnes. She lived in Texas. No mutual friends. That's why her name hadn't come up. But she was one of Brittany's closest out-of-town friends. Bryce said they mostly just drove around together. The officer pressed him. They had to have talked about something.
In that 3 hours of being together, you had to talk about a lot.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
So we started off talking about, because I'd heard that she'd finished all her credits in homeschool and that she was going to get her degree. So then talked about that, talked about how school was going for me, issues I had at school earlier last week.
That's when Bryce paused. Then something came back to him. Something he hadn't mentioned before.
I talked about how my mom was doing, because my mom has health issues. Talked about how my dad was doing, my brothers. She mentioned that after the summer, she was going to move down to Texas with her friend, the one that I showed you in the picture.
Okay.
But that's the only place she mentioned towards going. I didn't think about that.
According to Bryce, Brittany had talked about leaving Nevada. She wanted to move to Texas. She planned to live with Sequeira. As the interview went on, the officer noticed Bryce hesitating at times, searching for words. It felt like pieces were missing. Still, there were no clear contradictions, no solid proof of a lie. Before officers could regroup, another call came in. This time, it was Brittany's mother, Alicia. She had just received text messages from an unknown number. Brittany was being held hostage. The demand was $7,000. Payment through gift card.
What? She was held hostage? Yo, what the fuck? Yo. Hold on.
The sender warned that Brittany was sick and that things could get worse. When police traced the number, it led to a computer-generated spoofing service. Alicia had shared her phone number widely on flyers and social media. Scammers had noticed. Another false alarm. Later that day, deputies were working leads and...
Damn, so niggas was trying to scam her for 7 bands using her missing daughter. Niggas is weird. That's out of pocket. I ain't gonna lie, that shit not thorough. That needs something funny, bro. At the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's kid. You gonna try to scam somebody out of $7K, bro? That's nutty.
Searching for surveillance footage tied to Brittany and Bryce. At a Maverick parking lot, they crossed paths with Randy Merck. He was part of the Ruby Mountain Rebels Jeep Club and had been helping organize civilian searches. While standing with a deputy, Randy's phone rang. Someone had found a body. Deputies rushed toward the burner basin area.
It looks like a human head to me. Yeah, it looks like a chest.
Human head? Chest cavity? Oh, what the fuck?
Cavity in the dark. We walked over here on this side. I'm pretty sure that's their drag marks there.
2 volunteers, William Cooper and Eric Thacker, have been driving the 2-track roads, looking for Brittany. Near the edge of the roadway, they noticed large red stains, drag marks cut through the dirt, leading north.
But I stopped right here. He parked right there where he's at. I stopped and I backed up right there. So I don't know if you guys do the tire print and all that, or if that's all TV.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole bunch of stuff like that if that's what it is.
My shoes.
We'll get a statement from you guys here in a second, so.
All right.
At the end of those marks was what looked like a human body. Officers moved in for a closer look.
That's not good. Oh, that's a 1092. That's a body.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
Yep.
I can see enough right now.
So is that her body or is that just another random body? Like, this shit crazy, yo. People really be having some crazy shit going on in the world.
Looks like a girl's hand. Let's back out.
William and Eric also found some cash near the body.
Did you touch anything out there?
No, I did not.
Don't touch it.
There's a $5 bill laying there too. I don't know if you guys can get fingerprints off of it.
So, we'll get that.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, we'll process the whole thing.
All right.
Hey, Nick. We got a female body. We have a female body. I don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body out behind Burner Basin.
Once the scene was secured and turned over to forensic teams, deputies went to Jim Ulacki's home. They told him they had identified the body as Brittany. The identification was based on recent photos, fingernail polish, and her piercings, a belly button ring, and a nose ring.
I was on the phone. Okay.
And as a police officer, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how this feels because, you know, I don't work in law enforcement. But I feel like having to tell somebody that you found the body of their missing like child is insane. I couldn't say that. Somebody else had to do that, bro. I couldn't look in nobody's face and say, I found your missing daughter's body. I couldn't do that, bro. That's a hard job. That's probably one of the hardest jobs of being a cop, bro. Besides being like a regular, like, on-duty officer, just probably one of the worst jobs you gotta do.
And I just want to let you know that we have found the body.
I'm gonna pass out. Can you get me some help? Can you get me some help?
Yep,
Can you
there's
get
some
me
people. Okay.
Oh my God, give me some help.
They also
That
removed
shit's
a
sad,
lanyard
bro.
of keys with the name Brittany on it.
Yo,
Her body
I
was
peeped that,
partially
bro.
clothed and covered by a tarp. There was no longer any doubt. She wasn't just murdered. She endured far more than that. Brittany's body was transported for an autopsy scheduled on March 13th. The medical examiner found a ligature mark around her neck. There were wounds on her scalp and behind her ears. She also had a puncture wound to the neck, which had severed her carotid artery.
Damn.
After the autopsy, detectives contacted Bryce Dickey again. He was asked to come to the station. He was the last known person to have seen her alive. Bryce arrived with his father. They expressed concern about earlier interviews, saying deputies had been confrontational. The detective explained Bryce was free to leave at any time. Then, Bryce was escorted into an interview room. Bryce identified himself as 18 years old. He appeared calm, thoughtful, intelligent.
How was it that you knew to pick her up? What was going on that day?
I was just hanging out at home, and then we were Snapchatting each other.
Okay.
I think around 11, I think. And then we were talking, and then she asked if I wanted to hang out. So then I told her I'd get ready, and she told me that her dad was having band practice, so she said she'd meet me at Angel Park.
And what's your relationship with her?
Brittany's been one of my closest friends since probably my 7th, 8th grade year.
Oh, 'cause you've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and that was one of the issues we had with the cop previously is, like we were going over, because her phone of mine, her name in my phone is Little Sis, because she's called me Big Brother since like freshman year.
Bryce and Brittany were close, but just friends.
And what I'm getting at is, I mean, are you guys in any type of dating relationship at all?
No.
No. Okay. So it wasn't like, hey, let's go hang out and go party.
No.
Okay. All right. Nothing like that.
That Sunday, Brittany wanted to hang out. Bryce picked her up from the Angel Park parking lot.
Been standing right in the middle of the parking lot on the phone.
At Angel Park.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So she's in the parking lot on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pick her up. And what were you driving at that time?
It was my 93 Chevy Silverado.
93 Chevy Silverado?
Yeah.
Okay, what color is that?
I'm slightly rough on the color, but I'm pretty sure it's like really dark blue, but it looks black.
Okay, all right, so darker color.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Bryce said Brittany had issues with people from time to time. Drama followed her, but nothing that made him think this would ever happen.
Now, when you say a lot of people had, did she have, and now's not the time to hold back words, man. Did she have a bad reputation or something like that?
With a lot, because she used to get in a lot of fights, and a lot of people didn't like, Brittany was a very straightforward person.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't like that, because she was very blunt and honest.
Okay.
So a lot of people disliked her.
Detectives asked Bryce to walk them through the exact route of their 3-hour drive. They were hoping nearby cameras might have caught something.
Where did you go after you picked her up? What was the plan there?
We didn't have a plan at that point, so
Okay.
we were kind of just driving around. So I went up Mountain City that way, and then I turned off towards Walmart, cruised up past Mountain View, just kind of my normal route when I'm bored in town and drive around.
Okay. And she was still with you all the time?
Yeah, she was still with me this time. I had to go back home to my dad's house, so I asked her if she wanted me to drop her off back at Angel Park or where her dad was having practice. And then she was on her phone for about 30 seconds-ish, and then asked me if she drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend.
Brittany never told him who the new friend was. Bryce didn't press her. She made friends fast. That was just who she was.
Do you remember approximately what time that was that you dropped her off at the high school?
I just remember it was right around 4:30. So I don't remember the exact time.
Okay. Now, if I correct me if I'm wrong, no, you said that you had to go back home, right?
Yes.
Did you have a time that you had to be back home?
No, I didn't have a specific time, but I was at my dad's house, and I had to go back to my mom's house that night.
Up to that point, Bryce's story matched what he had said before. Then small details began to change.
Kind of explain to me, did you drop her off like right next to his ride, or how did that go down?
I dropped her off right here because I didn't know. I just pulled up to the high school because I didn't know where I was going. And then, so I got right here, and then she grabbed her keys, gave me a hug, said love you, bye, and then got out of the truck, and then so I pulled it in reverse, started pulling out this way, and then she walked over to that F-150, and then by the time I'd gotten back out and onto the highway, the F-150 was pulling out.
So you went back out the same way you came in over?
Yeah, no, I don't come out that way.
You don't even go out that way, okay. All right, so you basically made a loop then, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and then heading back out towards Maverick. Okay, and so you see the green F-150?
Yeah.
Because the deputies told me that initially when they spoke with you, you had provided a description of someone that may have been the driver of that truck?
They kept saying I gave a description, but literally the only thing I saw was a cowboy hat. That was it.
Okay, so you couldn't tell if he was tall, short, fat, skinny, anything like that?
The hat looked towards the top of the cab, so I said that, and they took it as tall.
And then she had her phone at that time too, right?
Yeah, all she had, at least that I didn't notice anything else besides her keys and her phone.
Detectives found her keys at the scene, but her phone was still missing. They asked Bryce again about the man in the parking lot. Around town, people were talking. A cowboy named JT in his green Ford F-150.
I think they're calling him JT, the guy that I've seen on posters everywhere. I found out yesterday that people were looking for a guy in Lemoyle named JT. He goes by JT.
Okay.
But besides a few of my friends knowing him, because I guess he's a ranch hand out there.
Okay.
I haven't found anyone that knew anything about the new friend or anything about him.
Detectives searched for anyone matching that description. No JT was located.
I've heard rumors back and forth, but
there's a lot of rumors going on, yeah.
Yeah, all I've heard is that they were looking for a guy named JT because he was cowboy, tall, and drove a green F-150. That was all I got told.
But you don't know that for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of Bryce's friends, Bodie Wilson, claimed he knew who JT was.
Okay, so he didn't say that he worked with him on a specific ranch or anything like
No,
that?
he didn't give me any specific. He just gave me very, very vague details.
Gotcha, okay.
JT started acting strange. Then he disappeared. JT was missing. Brittany was dead. And the entire town wanted answers.
When you showed up, did you have anybody else with you?
So JT drive the green F-150. People know that he a ranch guy. He wear a cowboy hat. So where the fuck is JT at? He just disappeared. He just cooked her, then disappeared. JT, come to the front, nigga. What happened? JT, come to the front, nigga. What did you do? Why her body was like that? Why you just spread her money across the ground and you could have just took the money at that point? It was like $15. I don't know. I think it was some files rolled up or something. You could at least took the cheese, blood. Let me stop trolling.
You picked her up?
No, it was just me.
And then I'm not sure, but I thought you said you guys went to eat after you picked her up? No? Okay, you just went up Mountain City Highway and then by the school and then down Fifth Street.
Because we didn't stop anywhere. After I picked her up, we literally just straight drove around.
For Bryce, he left her with a stranger, and she never came home. Detectives asked if Bryce would hand over his phone for examination.
is there anything on your phone that you would be concerned with us finding?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any problem if we take a look at your phone just to make sure that we're good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bryce agreed. He signed the consent form. Before ending the interview, detectives made one final request. Bryce provided a DNA sample. The interview ended. Just 20 minutes after Bryce's interview ended, search teams returned to Burner Basin. On the south side of the roadway, about half a mile from where Brittany's body had been found, they spotted her iPhone. It was badly damaged, nearly destroyed. Minutes after the phone was found, detectives interviewed Cheyenne Fry, Brittany's best friend. Cheyenne said she had received Snapchats from Brittany on March 8th, between 3:30 and 4 p.m. In the pictures, Brittany was in a vehicle with Bryce. Cheyenne noticed details right away. Brittany was wearing silver oval earrings with dangling turquoise crosses, earrings she had borrowed from Cheyenne. She also had her iPhone earbuds in. Cheyenne mentioned a ring too, one with a Wiccan-style design. None of those items were found, not at the scene, not on Brittany's body. Because the phone had been found so far from the body, detectives widened the search. The next day, March 14th, they returned to the scene. Near where Brittany's torso would have rested beside the sagebrush, and about 60 feet from where the wrapper had been found, detectives spotted something else. White earbuds. They were hanging...
Did he say condom wrapper? Let me go back, y'all. I just gotta hear that one more time.
Had been found so far from the body, detectives widened the search. The next day, March 14th, they returned to the scene. Near where Brittany's torso would have rested beside the sagebrush, and about 60 feet from where the wrapper had been found, detectives spotted something else. White earbuds. They were hanging from the sagebrush. That same day, detectives reviewed Brittany's phone records from Sunday, March 8th. At 2:37 p.m., Brittany called Bryce. The call lasted 2 minutes. At 3:15 p.m., Bryce called Brittany. That call lasted about a minute. The timing didn't add up. Bryce had said he picked Brittany up at 1:30 and stayed with her until 4:30. If they were together, why were they calling each other? Detectives decided to test Bryce's story. They started pulling surveillance footage from the area where Bryce claimed he picked her up. Turns out, Bryce was lying. Bryce hadn't picked Brittany up at 1:30 like he said. According to the CCTV footage at around 3:20 p.m., a female matching Brittany's clothing appeared on camera. She crossed the road and entered the Angel Park parking lot. She stopped near the bathrooms and waited there for a couple of minutes. Then, Bryce Dickey's pickup came into view. It drove along Sage Street and pulled into the lot. Brittany walked over and climbed into the passenger seat. The truck turned around and exited back onto Sage Street, heading toward Mountain City Highway. The timeline directly contradicted Bryce's statements. Now, detectives were focused on the truck itself, not the green Ford F-150 Bryce kept mentioning, but his own blue Dodge pickup. They started tracking it through surveillance cameras. After picking Brittany up, Bryce drove past the Maverick gas station on Boyd Kennedy Road. Footage from around 3:45 p.m. showed his dark-colored pickup turning onto Boyd Kennedy Road from State Route 227. The truck passed the Spring Creek Middle and High School entrance, continued past the storage units, and disappeared from view. That direction didn't match Bryce's account either. Another lie.
So Bryce lying. Bryce and JT come to the front. What did y'all do? Bryce and JT come to the front. What did y'all do? We need to know.
Detectives kept pulling footage. 2 hours later, the same camera caught his truck again. At 5:43 p.m., Bryce's pickup was seen traveling from the same State Route 227 toward Burner Basin, the same place Brittany's body would later be found. Bryce had told detectives he never went there. The video said otherwise. Detectives decided it was time to bring Bryce back in. Too many gaps, too many turns in the story that didn't line up. This time, before a single question was asked, Bryce was read his Miranda rights.
One other question. If you could say something to Brittany, what would you say?
Easy. I love you. That'd be the first thing I would say.
What about the second?
No, I'm sorry. Because I kind of
blame myself for all this. Even though, well,
blame yourself.
I mean, I know that I didn't know what was going to happen, but I mean, I'm the last one that freaking saw her before she's dead.
They started from the beginning. The route, the timeline. Bryce repeated it all exactly the way he had before. Then detectives laid the surveillance footage on the table.
Well, I'm kind of confused about a couple things. So round one, you pick her up at Angel Park, and then you come into Boyd Kennedy Road entrance to the school at about what time again?
Around 4:30.
About 4:30. Okay. So we got some surveillance footage from Angel Park. But down here is the time, and that was 15:20?
Yep. I don't know what time it is.
3:20.
Oh, okay.
2 hours military time.
Okay.
2 hours after you said. Yeah, so it's a little bit later than what you said, so I'm just kind of confused, and I want to clear that up with you a little bit. Because that's her walking across the street. And
Bryce didn't hesitate. He said he must have lost track of time. That was his explanation.
I might be off of my timestamps. The only timestamp that I personally have is on my phone of what time I called her when I got on her. So.
This nigga lying. This nigga lying out his ass. He's starting to sweat now. He don't know what to say no more. He just talking that bullshit. Slap him on his ass. Throw some seasoning on that nigga. You're cooked, buddy. You're cooked. You're deep fried. Let's get back to it.
That's 2 hours. Literally the entire time I was with her, I was not on my phone.
Do you see where...
I can see where there could be concern. I understand that, sir.
Detectives weren't finished. They pulled up footage from the Maverick gas station. Bryce tried to reshape his earlier statements. He said this was actually the route he had meant all along.
So if you look right here, you can see... Let me come over here. So, right over here...
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Oh, that's your truck right there, about?
Is it smushed together since it's so far away?
Yeah.
I think so, because I have a long day that's all I know.
Yeah, so this is the Boyd Kennedy Road right here. That's your truck.
Yeah.
That's your truck going down Boyd Kennedy Road.
Entrance to the middle school and stuff is right here. That goes into the parking lot. And then there's the wrestling gym, which is right there. And then it cuts right and goes right to the middle school. Okay. So that's what I went through.
That's not what you said.
No, I said I went through the Boyd entrance. I didn't.
Across from the Maverick.
Yeah.
At that point, detectives knew this wasn't confusion. This was intentional. They now had proof Bryce drove toward the crime scene, something he had flatly denied before. There was no backing away from that.
What if I told you we had surveillance footage that appears your truck kept going out Boyd Kennedy Road?
I didn't go down Boyd Kennedy Road.
I just want to kind of clear everything up and get your explanation for this, okay? Because you seem like a decent guy. We've been sitting here chatting and stuff like that, okay? And I just want to kind of help you through this so that way we can kind of explain this stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Bryce still tried. He had another explanation ready.
I got startled after the third cop I talked to, the one that called me down to the high school, because called me a liar about 3 times and kept asking me if I killed Brittany. So
somebody asked you if you killed Brittany?
A deputy did.
Oh, okay.
And it honestly startled the shit out of me. And I don't want to. I know I'm only been 18 for a little bit now, but I know I'm 18 now. So even changing a little bit on the story isn't a big thing.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, that's why I'm trying to sort through it. Okay.
Yeah, so when he talked to me, and I went down Boyd a little bit, but not far, and then I took that first left off of the Boyd Kennedy, which goes straight back to the right to the bottom of the trailer section, and then went back to the high school. But
being at Boyd Kennedy at the same time when she went missing, it worried me because I didn't want him.
So
I lied because I was scared of people thinking it was going to be me, which a lot of people still do.
That's understandable.
I want y'all to hear me clearly when I say this. So this nigga lied to make people think it wasn't him. Dumbass, tell the truth, and niggas not going no, it's not you fucking idiot. Why would you lie to niggas about some shit that you supposedly didn't even do? What type of shit is that, bro? You know what? Throw his ass in the cell for a couple days for being a dickhead.
Where's the last person to see her alive?
Yeah, which honestly scares me, but I see that there's issues with me not telling you 100%.
You need to be 100% honest. You need to let everything out. So when you said you took that first left off of Boyd Kennedy, was Brittany in the car with you at that time?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
He said he panicked. He lied because he knew his habit of driving around aimlessly would look bad.
I kind of have like a set little thing of loops that I do when I get bored driving around Spring Creek. And that's one of the ones that I do a lot. But being so close to being on Boyd Kennedy, and as soon as people were saying that's where she went missing, I kind of got scared.
But detectives had one more piece of evidence, and this one wasn't something he could talk his way around.
I have one other concern.
Okay.
We located some items, or an item. Okay. Do you have any idea what that item might be?
No.
Okay. What if I told you that it had both yours and Brittany's DNA on it?
What would that be?
Do you have any idea?
No.
Now's the time to be truthful.
I'm being 100% sir. I don't know what you're referring to.
On March 17th, the same day as Brittany's vigil, the cop was at the vigil just to keep an eye on Bryce, because that day, the crime lab came back. Brittany's DNA was found on the outside of the condom. Bryce Dickey's DNA was found on the inside.
What the fuck? So he fucked her and killed her? What? Oh, this shit crazy. What, nigga? Yo! He snapped, yo. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He snapped. Wrap that nigga up. Wrap him up, yo.
Explain to me how a condom has your DNA on the inside and her DNA on the outside. Because that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, and I don't.
And you can understand my concerns that, you know, I've been truthful with you, okay? And I know,
Sure.
I know this is really stressful, okay? I can't imagine where you're at, all right? But we'll get through this together, okay? And I need you to help me help you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
You guys trying to get a confession of me killing Brittany?
I'm trying to figure out how your DNA got on the inside that has her DNA on the outside. I need to figure out what happened with that.
That's when Bryce finally admitted it. He had been lying. It almost slipped out. He nearly admitted it happened all the way down Boyd Kennedy Road, the same place where Brittany was found. Bryce claimed Brittany threw the condom out herself. He said he tossed the wrapper. The data told a different story. GPS placed both of them within a few hundred feet of where Brittany's body was later discovered. Bryce's location data showed him driving back towards Spring Creek about an hour after Brittany's last photo was taken. The lies were piling up. Detectives believed Bryce wanted her. She rejected him, and he couldn't accept it.
So everything we just talked about, if you were me, what would you think about all that?
I think you guys already know what I think you would think.
And what is that?
That I'm lying about everything. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that's what you guys are thinking.
No, I think you're very smart. From the position I sit in, okay, like I said, there's only that one chance that you have with me to tell me the truth. Because so far, you haven't told me the truth. And I think we both know that.
Sure.
Okay. And the thing I'm concerned about is that everything you've told me just does not add up. Okay?
Okay.
And I think you're very smart. You know that. Okay? So, help me figure out what the truth is. But I need to hear that from you.
Bryce changed his story again. Now he said he didn't drop her at the school parking lot at all. He claimed he left her on the road.
I don't know how that happened. Because Brittany was still alive by the time I dropped her off on the road with whoever the guy was. I just wasn't thinking at all. And I dropped her off and I literally just drove off.
Detectives shut that down immediately. He couldn't lie his way out anymore.
You do have to know, but I'm telling you that I literally had never met this guy.
Okay.
Which Brittany gets new friends every month, and I didn't really think much of it.
You've told us several different versions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you really expect me to believe that you met a guy and you just dropped Brittany off with him and you don't know who that was? You're a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. Okay.
I've met him, but I honestly don't know who he is.
So I need you to be honest with me.
Then
This
Bryce
nigga's
tried something
fried,
else. He said he knew who the real killer was.
Didn't even know the kid was back in town. It was the Chaz Randall kid is the one who picked her up. Which I didn't even know he was back in town. So I swear it was Chaz Randall, because that kid's kind of distinguishable. But
So you're telling me Chaz Randall met you on the road? I told you.
what?
And you've known that Chaz Randall killed Brittany all this
I
time, and you're
didn't
just
know.
waiting to say something?
Brittany Ulacki didn't vanish into mystery. She was erased by someone she trusted. There was no stranger in the shadows, no faceless monster, just a familiar face, a familiar truck, and a lie told one too many times. The truth didn't come all at once. It arrived slowly, in timestamps, in camera angles, in a phone tossed into dirt, and a road Bryce swore he never drove down. The state charged Bryce Dickey with open murder, first-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. The jury found Bryce guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 46 years.
Damn.
He appealed. The Supreme Court upheld the verdict. Bryce Dickey will serve his full sentence.
Damn.
Justice didn't bring her back. It never does. But it did take away the one thing Bryce used to control her, his freedom. Brittany's story ends here, not in rumors, not in excuses, but in facts that finally refuse to be ignored. If you stayed with this story to the end, thank you for giving Brittany the time she was denied. If you want more cases told carefully, without shortcuts or noise, you know where to find us.
Damn. That was a good ass video. That was a crazy plot twist. I'm thinking it was JT whole time it was that nigga. Yo. Whew, shit. That was a long ass video. But listen, hey, y'all, I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. I just want to say thank y'all for sticking around with me. If you watched the whole video, I really do appreciate you, because shit, I was struggling to get through this motherfucker. It was a lot of just dialogue that was in here. I wanted to skip that shit so bad. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna watch this shit all the way through. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with me, yo. We try and really take this shit over, yo. I'm gonna try to stop cursing as much, because I know YouTube don't like all the cursing, but that's just me. I'm gonna have to get used to not cursing. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And we out, yo. Stack team on top. I can't even fucking turn this shit up.